and he was able to escape. Now let's take you out to Chad Petrie, who is there along Airport Boulevard where that arrest was made. Good afternoon, Chad.
Good afternoon, Bill. I want to show you where we are right now. We're just beside Bonefish Grill. Mobile police saying that the suspect crashed out in the woods back here. We're just waiting to hear from Mobile's police chief. Will be talking to us in just a moment. But they just made this arrest minutes ago. The suspect going on 18 hours running from law enforcement today. We're going to be talking to the police chief right now live. I think we're all ready to go here. Guys, are we ready to go?
Not yet.
Okay. Mobile's Police Chief Lawrence Batiste will kind of outline what they did to finally make this arrest.
Right, ready?
Yeah.
First, let me say thank you to the public and thank you to the media for everything that you guys did to help us bring Tommy Goldman into custody. As you guys know, last night about 9 p.m., our officers pursued Mr. Tommy Goldman in reference to a vehicle stop. He abandoned his vehicle, and then, of course, he fired a shot at the officer as he was trying to flee the area. We were able to take the Nettles subject into custody last night. Mr. Goldman has eluded us until such time as today. We had a perimeter set up over off Lloyd's Lane, at which point Mr. Goldman stole a vehicle and then led us on a high-speed pursuit over to this area. He crashed out in the area just behind me. It gives me great pleasure to announce that we actually have taken him into custody, and we've taken him off the streets of the city of Mobile. And again, it's through the efforts of the men and women of the Mobile Police Department, as well as the citizens of Mobile and the media, a combined effort by all to make this possible for us today. So,
can you say how he was able to be on the run for 18 hours? Do you know if anyone was helping him out during this time?
You know, at this point, because we haven't had a chance to interview him and talk to him about, you know, what did he do over the last 18 hours, you know, I would suspect that Mr. Goldman ran from pillar to post anywhere he could lay his head or hide. I think that's what he did over the last 18 hours. And again, thank you to the community, everybody that made phone calls and gave us any information about where he may be or what his next move might be.
Was there a chase down airport or something, or how did you get there?
Again, we had a perimeter set over off Lloyd's Lane and Lundy Road in that area. He was able to take someone's vehicle. He broke into someone's vehicle and he took it. He led us on a high-speed pursuit going up Cottage Hill Road, cutting across Hillcrest, coming up over here, up Airport, and again, he finally crashed out behind Bonefish Grill here.
I saw him, I saw you guys I saw him in that truck as you guys were driving down Hillcrest. I saw him take that turn. So at what point did that officer actually locate him? Where was that in the perimeter?
Well, early on, our officers indicated he saw him immediately as he was trying to leave the area, as we were trying to provide refreshment for our officers, water, because they had been out so long. One of the officers was flagged down by a resident saying that their vehicle had just been stolen, which gave us the information. As she was putting that information out, one of our officers that was a part of the perimeter saw the vehicle leaving the area, and of course he immediately got behind it, indicated the direction of travel. Also, with the assistance of the United States Coast Guard providing some overwatch for us, we were able to get directly to the area and make sure we maintain eye surveillance on him until such time he crashed out here.
Do you know roughly what time he may have stolen that car and or how?
If I had to guess, it was within the last couple of minutes. It's 1:48, within the last 20 minutes or so.
Is he in Metro or the hospital, or where?
Right now, he's being evaluated, make sure he doesn't have any injuries, and then, of course, if he does have any injuries, he'll be taken straight to Metro.
Were any shots fired?
To my knowledge, there was no shots fired at this time.
Can you tell us how many confirmed sightings you had of him up to this point?
The public called. I would think that we've had at least 10 different sightings during the entire time we were out. When we ended up over at Hunters Point, we had a couple of sightings there. We had a sighting at the Alta Point area. We had sightings over off the in the Blue Ridge area. So again, he continued to move through the wood line until such time we were able to get him behind the wheel of a car, and he tried to leave the area.
Was it a resident at Hunters Point?
I'm not sure what the neighborhood was. I don't think it was in Hunters Point where he stole the vehicle. It was a neighborhood adjacent to Hunters Point.
At this point, can you tell us, or do you have any idea why he would pick this area of Mobile to try and hide out in?
I don't know that he picked this area to try to hide out as much as that this was where he could move he was able to move, you know, without drawing a whole lot of attention to himself, because he tried to stay low. He stayed in the wood lines, and subsequently, again, you know, he got trapped into an area where he felt like the only way he could get out is to get in a car. He was on foot, and so when you're on foot, you can't move that far. When he finally was able to take a vehicle, he did that, and that led us over here.
You don't know if he broke through a window or opened the door if it was open?
Again, I haven't had, I mean, based off where the vehicle's in the wood, I can't tell you whether the damage from the vehicle was by him breaking the window or if it's because of the crash or something like that.
Judging by how desperate this suspect seemed to be, how fortunate do you feel that nobody else really got hurt in all this?
Again, we're thankful. You know, anytime anyone takes the time to pull the trigger on a police officer, puts our community in great harm. And so, again, it gives me great pleasure to be able to say that we've taken this individual off the streets, because if he would fire at an officer, he would fire at anybody.
Can you tell us about the gun that was found?
Don't have any details on the gun right now. We haven't done all the things. Again, I haven't had a chance to go back to the office or do anything since last night as this began. So we're still processing some of the evidence from last night, and as we get to a point where we can maybe release some updates on that we will.
It was in the vehicle, though? Is that correct? That gun that was found, was that in the vehicle?
No, we didn't recover a gun out of this vehicle here. We recovered a gun earlier today. Yeah,
yes,
right.
Sir.
Anything else you got to add, Chief?
Again, just thank you to the Coast Guard, thank you to the media, thank you to the community, and thank you to all of the officers and the hard work that they put into this operation today.
All right. Yeah, make sure y'all mention the Coast Guard. That's Captain Bill Sasser out of ATC Mobile. Bill Sasser, S-A-S-S-E-R.
Talk to us a little bit about the importance of having that asset as part of this search. How valuable was it to have ATC and their helicopters as part of this?
Well, the importance of having an interagency cooperation, and it was Mobile County SO was out there as well as Alabama State Troopers and the United States Coast Guard, all assisting Mobile PD with this person. And so they were able to successfully flush him from that wood line, which and I think all of y'all did see, that helicopter was on that truck pretty quickly, stayed on him, and was able to give us detailed information once he got on foot back here in the woods.
So did it start really with a helicopter spotting him and then was able to force him out of the wood line at that point?
No, he was forced out of the wood line by SWAT teams, K-9 units, as well as the helicopter that you saw flying those patterns over the wood line during that search for the suspect. He tried to leave that area, which is when he obtained the truck, stole the truck, and tried to run in a high-speed pursuit. That helicopter then left the wooded area and began to track him as he ran through the city.
And just the importance, one more time, of all you guys and staying on top of this, you know, the perimeter that we had, like you guys were alerting the public and let everyone know. And within seconds, I know I saw that one officer trailing him, and within seconds I saw multiple other officers as well within the pursuit. So just, once again, just talk about the importance of
Well, the importance, and you know, then you guys also played an incredible importance to it. We set up a joint information center right away so that we could begin to feed information to you, and you could get it out to the public. All of those different elements and that interagency cooperation is what led to this arrest, and we think led to the prevention of anybody being injured or killed as a result of this fugitive on the run.
At this point, the lockdowns are over. I mean, everybody can go back to their normal business?
Absolutely. Everybody can go back. We have our guy in custody, and we're pretty confident of it. But thank y'all again.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Public Safety Director James Barber, also Mobile's police chief, joining us there to kind of give us a rundown of this arrest, this manhunt lasting nearly 18 hours at this point, coming to an end just beyond the parking lot there at Bonefish Grill this afternoon, as a suspect minutes ago allegedly stealing a vehicle, crashing in the woods here. Mobile's police chief saying that he was flushed out from the wood line as a result of just several different agencies working on this case to try and find this person, trying to motivate this person essentially to run and be in view enough for them to find him, and eventually leading to this chase and crash here in West Mobile, bringing this chase really to an end that has lasted through the night, through this morning, now to the early afternoon as it comes to a close out here in West Mobile. Bill?
And you know, Chad, we have been following this, of course, especially that chase that took place in dramatic fashion succession just in the past few minutes, and we took a lot of calls from viewers who were telling us about what was going on and where it was happening, and of course that's exactly how we were able to get a handle on it. But the chief and James Barber, Public Safety Director, both seem incredibly relieved that this is over, that no one else got hurt out of this.
Yeah, we should point that out, is that one of the things that they wanted to emphasize for people is that this was a very dangerous situation, that this gentleman who they say fired at Mobile police could then subsequently fire on anybody, somebody that seems so desperate to leave the area, somebody so desperate to flee from police at this point, now able to get into custody. We're going to kind of move around here and just get a little bit closer to the scene, show you a little bit more of what we can so far of this incident. But again, too, one of the factors in this is that they were urging people who were in this quadrant that they were looking for to stay inside. That lockdown has been lifted. Things are a lot calmer, a lot safer now that they say that this man is in custody. As for how he's doing, his condition, we just don't know right now. Mobile's police chief saying that this person will be evaluated to see if he has been injured in any way, and if so, they'll be taken to the hospital first before they are processed into Mobile Metro Jail this morning, or this afternoon rather. But again, too, this all wrapping up in pretty short succession this afternoon. We're getting a little bit closer. We can actually see police officers at the wood line here examining the area. But again, too, we're trying to just keep you guys updated. But finally, this search is over at this time.
It's amazing. Also, I think you were at the apartment complex that we were talking about earlier there on Lloyd's Lane, and I was looking at the maps, and there is a big wooded area behind that apartment complex. It stretches all the way over to Gerby Road, so we assume that's the area that they were looking in, flushed him out of that wood line, and he was able, with all that police presence there, able to find a vehicle that he could steal it, and try to get away that way.
Right, that is one of the remarkable things about it, is that as far as we can tell, he was on foot for most of this. Another thing we should point out is this is the 5th stop that we've been to, that I've been to today, and all the neighborhoods and areas that he has apparently been cited at had some sort of wooded component to them, some trees or some heavy brush that would separate each one of these areas of property that we presume the suspect was able to really essentially hopscotch from place to place using these wooded areas as cover, and eventually, of course, you cannot do that forever. And assuming that this gentleman was on the run throughout the overnight hours, you have to assume that this suspect was exhausted, was very hungry, was eventually just getting very, very tired of this run, and it had to end at some point.
News 5's Chad Petrie there on the scene where Tommy Goldman was taken into custody just moments ago, stealing a truck, crashing that truck into the woods there by the Bonefish Grill off Airport Boulevard. Police now have him in custody. He's being evaluated for medical, and he'll be taken to Metro Jail and charged after that. Tommy Goldman wanted on multiple warrants that include escaping from Baldwin County and theft of property in Bayou La Battery. We'll no doubt have much more on this story coming up later today. Be sure to check for new details on WKRG.com and our social media. For Chad Petrie, who is live on that scene, I'm Bill Wiles. We'll take you back to your regular programming.